The story of Samson, Part 1. Long ago, there was a desperate childless couple named Manoah and his wife. One night, an angel of the Lord appeared to them and said, "You will conceive and give birth to a son, and you shall call his name Samson, for he will save Israel from the hands of the Philistines." But the angel warned them, "You must not drink wine or beer, and you must not cut your son's hair, for the Nazarite is dedicated to God from birth, and he shall begin his service in the temple when he is 30 years old." And so it was that Manoah and his wife conceived and gave birth to a son, just as the angel had promised. They named him Samson, meaning son, and Samson grew up to be a strong and courageous young man. But the Philistines didn't know this, and they continued to oppress the Israelites. And so Samson decided to take matters into his own hands. Stay tuned for more. This man was the strongest man who ever lived. And when I say strong, I mean he could tear a lion in half with his bare hands, as if it were a tiny goat. And he did this without even trying. You see, Samson was a judge in Israel, and his power came directly from God. One day, 1,000 Philistine soldiers came to capture him, and when they got there, he was just playing with a donkey jawbone. But as soon as those soldiers showed up, something incredible happened. God's power started flowing through Samson, and he was able to defeat all of them with just that jawbone. But this mighty warrior had a weakness, and that was a woman named Delilah. See, the Philistine leaders offered her a huge amount of silver to find out the secret of his strength, and she wouldn't stop nagging him until he finally broke and told her that his power came from his long, uncut hair. And that's where we'll pick up in Part 2. That night, as Samson slept peacefully in her lap, Delilah betrayed him. She had his head shaved and his strength vanished. When he woke up, he was no longer the man he once was. The Philistines captured him, mercilessly gouged out his eyes, and took him to prison. There, the mighty Samson, now a blind slave, was forced to turn a large millstone. But as he toiled, his hair slowly began to grow back, and with it, his hope. In their great arrogance, the Philistine leaders gathered in their temple to celebrate their victory over the mighty Samson. They brought him out to make him a public spectacle. With a final prayer to God, Samson placed his hands on the two main pillars of the temple. "O Lord, please remember me and strengthen me just one last time." God heard his prayer. With all his might, Samson pushed the pillars, bringing the entire temple down upon himself and all who were inside. In his death, Samson defeated more of his enemies than he had in his entire life, sacrificing himself for his people and for God's glory.